This is my opinion on swarm traps and catching swarms. This is one of the swarm traps. I had several of these that I made up, and I set them in areas where there are commercial bees, within a quarter mile of the commercial bees. Just cheap lumber, and then I'd put a screen at the bottom with access to a paper towel in a Ziploc bag with some puncture holes in it. It would have lemongrass oil and then some rubbing alcohol with some queens in it, and then a hole for the bees to go in, and then another ventilation hole in case they got too hot in there. And then you'd have to go through and once a week or every other week go check it. And then I ended up spending too much time driving around. I'd rather spend my time making mating nukes. I think it was 2019 or 2018 when I did a bunch of those. But I ended up getting so busy doing mating nukes. 2019 I created 60 new colonies. In 2020 I made 75. And here are my notes for 2020. Every red line represents a colony that failed to produce a new laying queen, and the green line represents a new laying queen. And this right here was a weekend in August. The queens were due to do their mating flights during that weekend, and it rained for 3 or 4 days in a row, and every one of those failed. So it depends on the weather. So there's 165 tries here, and there's 75 new colonies. And here it is the following year in April, and I probably have 50 of those 75 left. That's why you see sometimes a lot of these colonies here are new colonies. They didn't get enough time last year to get large. And then some of these colonies are having a hard time. Some of them, the queen's getting old and she's slowing down. My older queens, on the third summer, they're strictly for mating nukes. The second summer, it's honey production. The first summer, that's when they build up. So for me, to waste my time driving around checking swarm traps is kind of pointless. I'd rather spend my time doing mating nukes. It's a lot more productive. And honestly, most of these people that are putting videos on YouTube, I see a lot of videos on YouTube, people catching swarms, making a big deal out of it. Most of these people are catching their own bees. They don't know how to manage their colonies. A good beekeeper never lets these colonies get to the point where they're going to swarm. Once you learn how to manage your bees, you'll understand that. Letting your colonies swarm is not a good thing. If you want to make more colonies, do mating nukes. Don't let them swarm and see if you can catch one of the swarms. It's kind of pointless. Let me show you my mating nukes that I've got set up. I've got 28 colonies at a different apiary. My large colonies are doing really well, and I've got my smaller ones here. And when they get larger, I move them to a different location. There's like 108. I use a deep with my insulated fillers in here, and 5 frames. It's a nuke. I'm working on making outer covers right now. And then as far as the bottom boards, I probably make my large colonies that are going to do honey this summer. I'm not going to take too many mating nukes off of them. I'll leave a screen bottom board on those, and I'll remove the bottom board, and I'll use them for my mating nukes. Because it's good to have screen bottom board. It keeps the varroa mites under control. So there's 108 in here. I'll be busy. I won't do all of them at once. I'm starting, I think, mid-May. And the commercial beekeepers will be in my area mid-June. Virgin queens will mate with drones from their area, if that's all there is. And I don't want to do a lot of them. I wait until summertime, and that's when I get most of my genetic variety from commercial beekeepers. They bring in new bees every summer. So I try to take care for my bees during the winter, make sure I don't lose too many, because I want to have lots of different queens. It's not a good idea to graft from a few of your best queens. You're going to end up getting inbred. It's better to have a wide variety of genetic lines of honeybees. Keep them from being inbred. And I'm not going to do walk-away splits. when I do a mating nuke, I'll take the queen, leave her in the largest hive, and I'll take it and move her someplace else. That way you don't have to worry about, if you do a walk-away split and you have that mating nuke right next to the original hive, a lot of those workers will go right back to the original hive. I tried that last year, see if I could save a little bit of work, but it didn't work out so well. Okay, thank you.